Scott Mills on Radio 1. Hiya, back in the afternoon. Becky's here.
Hello.
And my mate Chris is here.
Hello.
Got some exciting news. Guess what we have been commissioned to make?
Oh, brilliant. Have you managed it?
What?
Get my thing commissioned, my documentary.
It's Chris. No, it's not. It's Chris.
It's not that.
Oh.
In a few weeks' time, we are doing Radio 1 Stories, and it's the story of Lady Gaga.
And that is the night that eventually became the song Just Dance.
We took a cab, a taxi, to the studio.
Can I just touch this?
No.
And we wrote Boys, Boys, Boys.
Let's not get it twisted. Madonna is definitely more famous than Gaga.
To me, it was daring and strong and sexual and political and female. It's something that if someone took it from me, I would not feel like a whole person.
I don't think she knows the word can't, and I don't think she knows the word no.
I ended up doing meat shoes and meat purse. Nicola's touch was the steak on her head.
I like Lady Gaga.
I will do anything for Radio 1.
Thank you. Thank you a lot.
Anyway, I think they want us to do this, and they've asked us, and it is an honour. Thank you, Radio 1. I think they've asked us because we've done all the interviews before.
When you say us, do you mean you, but you don't want to do all the work yourself, so me and Chris now are part of it?
I've never met her.
No, I want to include you in this.
Oh, which bits? All the editing and all the scripting and
Yeah.
all the...
Now, I have dug out the first interview that we ever did with Lady Gaga, and this is across the whole of Radio 1. This is the first time she appeared live, and it's around about the time of Just Dance. Now, we've got some true or false rumours here.
Oh, gosh.
Could you just clear some of these up?
Ta-da!
Say whether they're true or false, okay? Right, first one, you got your name from Queen's song, Radio Gaga.
True.
Right, why?
My producer, Rob Fusari, I was playing this bonus track that's on the Fame called Again Again. And while I was playing, I'm very theatrical when I perform, and he goes, gosh, you're so Gaga. And I said, you mean like Radio Gaga? And he said, yeah, like Freddie Mercury, you're very dramatic. And, I've just always been really theatrical, and my performances are very over the top, so he called me Gaga, and it stuck.
Tick, that one's true.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you went to the same school as Paris Hilton.
Yes, but not in her class.
Okay, you're having a feud with Christina Aguilera.
Well, I'm not having a feud with Christina Aguilera, but
Is she having one with you?
I don't know. I don't.
What's happening?
I guess there's some question about whether or not she knows if I'm a man or a woman or something like that. But honestly, I dress very androgynous, and I'm a big Grace Jones, David Bowie fan, so it doesn't really bother me.
So she called you a man?
I don't know what listen, I love her. I think she's fabulous. Yeah. And
okay,
regardless,
so it's not a feud from your point of view?
No, it's not a feud.
Okay, and one more. When you were younger, you ran away to be a burlesque dancer.
That's true.
When was that?
Well, I was 18, so it wasn't really running away, but I gave up college, and my mom and dad cried at the dinner table on my birthday, and I just, I really wanted to do it. I'm really a nostalgic person, and I wanted to live the life of the artists that I admire so much that influenced my work, and I felt that I hadn't really experienced New York in the way that I wanted to, so I moved out, went downtown and got jobs and worked and wrote and played every nightclub in sight and go-go danced and slipped DJs my record until I got signed and dropped and signed again.
You worked really hard.
Yeah, and then here I am. But I wouldn't be here if I didn't really love music and art.
Now, you're a songwriter as well, aren't you?
Yes.
You've written songs, loads of songs for loads of people. Who have you written songs for?
For Britney Spears, Quicksand for her record. I worked on the Dolls album for about a month with Akon. New Kids on the Block, I wrote on their record. I did the song that they did with New Edition, the duet, and I also sang a song with them called Big Girl Now.
Okay.
And I'm writing all the time for other people. I'm just constantly in the studio.
I completely forgot about this. Listen to what she promised to do. Now, here's where you could help us.
Ta-da!
Because we do need to write a song soon.
Oh, gosh.
Right? We want to... Do you know the Eurovision Song Contest?
Okay.
Do you know this?
Yes.
It's an amazing array of talent from all over Europe. And we want to enter for the country Moldova. not because Britain never win it.
Well, you know what? I will do anything for Radio 1.
So, there we are.
So she agreed to write our Eurovision entry for Moldova.
Yeah. And like I say, I've still got that down here, as you heard it. It's right there.
And you never chased it up?
No, because I completely forgot about it.
Oh, this will work really well in the documentary then, because we could have, at the end of the documentary, the amazing world premiere of Gaga's song for Moldova.
Oh. It's a story of how, a girl from New York went from rags to riches to be like the biggest mega star on the planet, and then went to doing next year's entry for Moldova in the Eurovision Song Contest.
I will do anything for Radio 1.
Doesn't matter if you love him or capital H-I-M. Just put your paws up, 'cause you were born this way, baby.
I got into the Tisch School of the Arts at NYU when I was 17.
1, 2, 3.
It was like a complete dream of mine to go to that school and study art and theater, and my friends when I left were like, why would you leave? You accomplished your dream of going to this school and you're leaving, and what are you going to do? You're going to sing?
The Tisch School of Performing Arts is part of New York University, which is the largest private university in the world.
New York DJ and writer Brendan Sullivan.
It is known for churning out people who will then go on to become Broadway actors or in musicals. Gaga's parents live in the West 70s, not far from there. One day she just said to her father, I need to get away from this. I need something new. I need something for myself. She and her dad had cut a deal that if she didn't make it within a year, she would go back and finish her degree.
Shame, shame, baby, shame, shame. In it for the fame, baby, the fame.
I was pursuing my career as a musician, and on the side was, burlesque and go-go. When I discovered on a more analytical level what David Bowie and Queen and all of them were really doing, which was bringing theater and opera into the mainstream, I said I can do it too.
He's just a poor boy from a poor family, sparing his life from this monstrosity.
Collectively, we would start putting together parties. That was a good way to sort of make a living for yourself then. And I would come to a club owner and I would say, oh, I've got this go-go dancer. She's really great. She'll dance in the bar. We'll bring a great party. And she'll come out and perform maybe 2 songs on her own, which is something we took from elements of what you would say is the gay nightlife scene, where a drag queen would come out halfway through the night and sing 2 songs, and the DJ would play the backing track.
She knows how to grab your attention. She didn't say she was Lady Gaga, or she didn't say she was Stephanie Germanotta. She sort of came on to it like she was her own agent.
Club owner Ken Gorka. He runs the Bitter End, where Gaga played her first gig.
She's very, very driven. I don't think she knows the word can't, and I don't think she knows the word no. And she said, have you heard Stephanie Germanotta? And I said, no. She said, oh, she's really, really great, and you should book her in the club. So she sent me stuff. I listened to the stuff, and I did like her. She is an excellent musician. She's a great piano player. She's a prolific writer. She just really knows what she's doing. And I booked her right away.
Brendan Sullivan.
Getting into that scene was her trying new things and not trying to please the right people anymore. She would do things that were intentionally not pop music, or she would try something new, or she would bring these elements that she loved herself. She loved dancing. She was a go-go dancer. She loved parties. She loved just the way it mixed all together, and she wanted to bring that into her music, and she did very, very, very well.
To me, it was, Clockwork Orange.
I was calm on the outside, but thinking all the time.
And it was performance art, and it was Vanity 6, and it was daring and strong and sexual and political and female. But to my mother, it was just, trashy.
Got this nice big Italian family. My family's Irish, but it's you feel the same. You go in there, her sister's there working on her French homework. Her mom is we're trying to figure out, what kind of T-shirts to get made. Her dad is on the phone, managing and supporting. And then meanwhile, her mother would stop and say, like, well, honey, you're not going to wear that on stage, are you? Because she's showing her this new outfit we just bought, which is basically underwear.
Her dad never missed a gig here.
Club owner Ken Gorka.
Her dad was here at every gig, and even when the transformation from Stephanie Germanotta to Lady Gaga, I don't think he even quite understood where it was going, but he just sort of looked at me one night, he rolled his eyes up, and he said, I don't really understand it at this point. He said, but this is my daughter, and he said, I'm with her 110%.
I'm really a nostalgic person, and I wanted to live the life of the artists that I admire so much that influenced my work. So I moved out, went downtown and got jobs and worked and wrote and played every nightclub in sight and go-go danced and slipped DJs my record until I got signed and dropped and signed again.
I asked her about getting dropped from Island Def Jam. I said, was that the worst day of your life? She said, no. The worst day of my life was the day my sister fell at retreat. She broke her arm. It was a terrible day. She never once thought, I want to have one #1 hit, or I would like to make a record. She always thought 2 steps ahead, and that's what's allowed her to be so successful, is she doesn't think, my record didn't come out, I'm never going to have a record come out. In her mind, she's only in the very beginning of what she is going to do and is doing. In her mind, she's on her way to becoming a producer and a record industry person. She wants to foster young bands, and the way she's going to do that is by proving that she is pop music, basically.
My name's Lucy, I'm from Carlisle. I think I first became a Lady Gaga fan back in 2009 when the song Dance in the Dark came out. It was kind of the end of my university days, and we were keen clubbers, shall we say, so it was always kind of heard there. We didn't know who she was or where she'd come from, but we absolutely loved the song. I think we just felt that we'd found our kind of the Madonna of our generation, I think.